Good morning. So here are geraniums we wintered over are putting on growth, some kind of slowly. I stuck some impatiens, the ones that do well in shade. This only gets 3 or 4 hours of sun in the afternoon, so we'll see how they do. I am perfectly aware that when these geraniums fill out, they'll probably crowd these impatiens out. I don't know, but I needed something right now in here. Okay, so these were the ones that were left, and I've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've lost at least 10. A couple of these look like they still have some green on them, so they may pop yet. Looks like a little bit of green growing there, so we'll keep an eye on those. They might be a little bit slow, but see here, I've got 2 that are well on their way, and here's another one sprouting. So what I'm going to do is cut off the dead part, and I'm going to add them to these because I want this to really be abundant. I only put 3 plants in here, which normally would be quite enough, but I can stick another one at the end here maybe. We'll see what happens with that. I could use an extra one out on the balcony. So we'll know next year to take these out and you know, bring them and put them in dirt and water it and light, and maybe the first week of March, or maybe the second or third week of February, to get them going good, so that they're in a full growth by the time we're ready to put things out. April 20th is usually our frost day, but sometimes we have 2 or 3 days of really cool weather, you know, like 30, 32, not a hard frost, that 3rd and 4th week of. Okay, so you can see how well everything is doing here. Now I'm going to take these vining, Larry says they're, and I had already added them to the planters. I want you to see, I just stuck them in when I cut them. I put cuttings in here, and look at how well they're doing. Well, I missed the last couple of pots, so the ones I put in dirt, I'm going to move down there today. And these double pink impatiens, proven winners impatiens, I'm going to make a hanging basket out there and maybe scatter them throughout the planters down there. They need more color in them. My brother got them out of the greenhouse a couple of weeks ago, and he's just driving back from Florida today. He had a hospitalization for malignant hypertension and possible, they ruled out a stroke, but you know, when you have those high blood pressures, you can have mentation changes, so I don't know how much he's going to feel like doing when it comes back. Okay, so I'm going to put some more ivy around the base of these. I might even stick in a white impatient just because I've got them. Now I want to show you what's happening with my poinsettia today. This was all the bracts, and in the house on the same number of hours they had all winter long, making beautiful red leaves. It was starting to grow these, and here you can see it's grown all of this. It's fresh from what was over the winter with the red. Well, they've dried up and they're ready to be taken off. Look at that. I don't really have a lot of experience with these, but that's what's happening. They're ready to break off. Isn't that interesting? So we'll keep an eye on this. Not all of them are dropping off, but see, we're getting fresh growth up from the bracts. I guess it needs more sunshine and what light than I was giving it inside. Oh, look at the geranium. Not the geranium. We have blossoms. The gardenia. This is the one that had a full-on onslaught of, I don't know, something white that covered the leaves and the stems entirely. There was a little bit of spider mites, but there wasn't webbing over the whole thing. And when I brought it back outside, I sprayed the daylights out of it, under and on top of the leaves, and it looks like it's fully recovered, because look, we're back to healthy. And of course, we've had about 12 to 14 inches of rain. I checked one of my pots this morning that was out on the veranda. I'll show you. See, I've got a flat to plant. I've got three flats to plant today and tomorrow morning. Oh, work, but it's good, joyful work. Okay, so I want to show you, I've told you about this plant. It's a coral. It's a syngonium coral, and it has these beautiful colored leaves, and of course the more sun it gets, the more orangey pinky they get. Well, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if leaves fell on it and it rotted my leaves, but I've got a lot of, I don't think it's a bug infection. I'm sorry. And I don't know if I should cut it all back. It looks like one of those things that you know, it doesn't die and come back in the, you know, the next season. It's a house plant in my area. And I don't know what to do with this. I don't know if I need to like cut back all the puny leaves and really encourage it to grow fresh ones. It looks like it wants to do that. Okay, I'm going to show you how I know I had 3 or 4 inches of rain yesterday, because I don't want to put holes in the pots of my pretty planters, and I can always tell how much rain I had, but how much is dripped through it included. And I had to dump this out this morning. There were at least 4 inches of rain in there. And look, I've got roots coming through the bottom. Well, I think I need to move it to a bigger pot. And I will have to decide what I'm going to put it in. I could possibly put it in this big pot. Now this is as you can see, it's an oriental pot, beautiful. And it has all this painting inside. Look at that. So it's not meant to be planted up with dirt. And when I was going through the library at Biltmore, they told us, they had some big ones like this, that they were oriental fish bowls. They kept fish in their big bowls, and they had all the greenery and plant stuff painted on the inside of the bowls. Is that interesting? So again, on the off chance this is an incredibly important bowl, and it does have the oriental stuff on the bottom. I know one of my girlfriends from California, she told me she came across some of these gifted, and it turned out the father of the person who gifted them to him said they were, they're Chinese fish bowls, and they were worth $300 to $500 a piece. So I am not cutting a hole in the bottom of this, which means I have to check. If I have something planted in here in another pot with drainage holes, I have to lift it up and check, and if there's extra water, I got to pour it out, right? Not a huge chore. I only have 1 or 2 of these things going. See, those things have holes in them, so I'm not worried about that. Well, okay, so I want to repot this into something larger. Oh gosh, lots of chores to do today. Here's the hanging basket I might use for the pink impatiens. Maybe I'll add some pink impatiens to these teal blue pots. Oh, I have more blossoms on my rhododendron that's in front of my kitchen window. Would you look at that? Oh, look there's a lot. That's just the last couple of days. I didn't know. I thought I wasn't getting anything off of here, because my brother pruned it last year, and it takes 2 years. That's my observation. I am not a horticultural expert at all. That's just my observation. Okay. I think this right here is an Amazonian. It's a proven winners, and it comes in, I think, 3 different sizes and bulk. And this has been grown in the skirt of this gardenia. This is like its third year, so a good 2 solid years. And I don't know what would happen if I cut it back, if it would thicken out and bush out. I might get bold and do that. You know me, I like to put skirts on my plants. Oh, I want to show you what I did here. I told you, we keep having rain. We just keep having rain. And it makes the plants heavy, especially if they have blossoms and they tip over. And look what I did here. This thing was falling all the way over to the ties. Well, I just took nature does its own pruning job around here. I have lots of sticks on the ground. So I just took this big stick and stuck it in there to hold it up. And I did the same thing here. See? And it already has branches, so it really kind of helps to hold it. And the plant will straighten up given half a chance, as soon as we get some sunshine. So that's interesting. Oh, so that's one plant I have to plant today. I don't know where I'm going to put that yet. I just love that. And I have a flat out here my brother put out, and I know I need to plant these myself. We're going to plant them in the ground around these so that it looks like they're all growing together, and I'll add more to the pots. So it'll be a nice big blanket of impatiens and New Guinea impatiens and ferns and so forth. That'll be lovely. So what we're aiming for here is what my brother did over here. I'm not going to ask you to watch me plant these things, for crying out loud. That's a spirea. It's blooming pinky red this year. I should get bold and cut it back one winter and see what happens. Okay, so he has planted these impatiens that do well in sun and mostly shade. And this is mostly shade. It might get an hour of sun. He's planted them what? Maybe 8 to 10 inches apart. And they will bush out and be absolutely a blanket here. And you won't even see the rail boxes. Well, gosh, if I have some extra of those red, I'll stick them in the boxes as well with the ferns. I see there's a New Guinea impatient in there. I love this too, this ivy that grows. I think it has a little flower in the spring. Anyway, so these are more of the hostas that we rescued from the garden across the street, from Fran's garden. And I wanted to show you how much they double up every year, okay? Okay, so that was one plant about maybe 3-4 years ago. And now there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it puts on at least an extra plant every year. Let's check another one. Well, the bears have eaten off some of there. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plants where there was one planted. Unfortunately, this pile of, well, there wasn't anything planted here. But do you see how we've got these hostas planted around in a swoop? Well, my brother usually puts a pot right in here, and we call it the grotto. And you can see over there all those hostas that go on down. Well, for one thing, they hold the soil and the debris in, to prevent further erosion. Do you see how thick they are? Look at that. They get a little bit more sun than some of these others. Lots of money plant. They're easy to pull up after rain. Just be aware of that. If you have to do any weeding in your garden, you need to do it after a rain while the soil is soft, and then it's really easy. And I did show you a money plant that I pulled out. I'll show you again today. Let me do that. Oh dear, this is steep. There's lots of steep places in this garden where the leaves are slippery. I have to worry about falling. Okay, we're going to show you the roots on these things. The one I pulled out where the orange impatiens are was like at least 10 inches long, taproot, an out-and-out old-fashioned taproot. Okay, let's pull out this small one. That's only about 4 inches. Let's pull out one of these bigger ones. See how easy they pull out? Oh, well, it broke. Look at that. Let me lay it down where you can see. See? See how long that is? That's 10 inches long. Minimum of 10 inches long. Well, so they'd be really great for erosion control. And they're prolific and they're beautiful. They're one of the first things to bloom in the springtime. Ours are mostly kind of a lavender color, and there are some white in here that show up every now and then. It's amazing, everybody that drives by our drive, nobody looks at the garden. They're so focused on the speed bumps. Irises down there, those were a gift from Guam. And not irises, gladiolus, and they'll be like 3 to 5 feet long gladiolus. It looks like the rain was a little bit, you know, when we have rain like that, and I told you we have had at least 4 or 5 inches again in the last 24 hours. It weighs the blossoms down, and then they bend over, and you know, unless we get some sunshine. Oh dear, what are these purple flowers? Aren't they pretty? Such a deep purple. Can you see that? Oh. Well, my brother's not here to tell me what everything is. But you see how they've fallen over? Because the blossoms were so huge and they capture water, and then it's just too heavy. I suppose that's one plant. Would you look at that? One plant. And it goes out. I'm sorry. Let's see if we can show you. It goes all the way out, around, and up there. One plant. I don't know how many stems on that plant. Look, it must be, 15 to 20. It's incredible. Oh, our creator really did himself proud when he had help from Adam, I guess. Adam worked in the garden. The co-creation principle and all that. So the things are falling over here. Oh, we have roses that are almost done. Look at that. So do you see the frame? That's from a mattress. That's from a mattress. Do you see that? Somewhere along the line, he picked up an old mattress and took all of the cotton stuff off it and came out here and stuck it up with these things. Ouch! I touched a thorn. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Well, these are almost done. I think they bloom all summer, though. That'll be something. Well, the sun has not come over the mountain yet, and it's a cloudy day. So let me get on my tree. Oh, the oak hydrangea is blooming. Oh. Well, we'll have to walk down the drive again. Down the road, you can see the cannas are coming up. Can you see over there? Cannas, those purple leaves, they'll get 6-7 feet tall, and then of course have those beautiful blossoms that cannas have. Those of us as gardeners, you know, we can look and see what's coming, and it's exciting, right? Okay, let's walk up over here. These are all daylilies that are behind these gladiolus. We have lots and lots of daylilies. I'll have to tell you about the daylily stories when they, you know, come into bloom more here in a little bit. So this is why I wear tall boots through the garden. Fran tells me that it won't keep me from being, the snake can get through my rubber boots, which I don't like at all, but it's a cool day and I don't suppose the cold blooded creatures are out yet. But we planted digitalis all along here 2 years ago, and they weren't but an inch and a half. And I had apps, same time we planted all these hostas. Well, maybe it's 3 years ago, or 4 years, and they came up and they were 5 and 6 feet tall. And absolutely stunning. So these have reseeded themselves. Oh, there's the oak leaf hydrangea. Well, it's a, what is it, May 20th? We've had a cool spring, okay? And we've had lots of rain. I don't know, we must be up to 20 inches in just the last 3 days. I mean, the last 3 weeks. And that's all good, but you know, you need some sun, because the plants need the sun to pull the growth up, right? Into the plants. So we usually put a pot right here. You know, you have to have names for every part of your garden. Oh gosh, these things have really grown in the last couple of years. I'm gonna walk right through them. Jeez. We're gonna have to pull some of those babies up. See, that's an odd one that came up from nowhere. Well, thank you for taking a little walk with me. You've seen my chores. Let me go do my chores. Maybe tomorrow I'll show you what progress I made with them. You all have a great day, and thank you for sharing the garden with me. I appreciate it.